Well, I love fire steels. They throw a very hot white spark that will ignite most natural tinders if prepared correctly. However, sometimes tinders can be difficult to prepare, or wet or damp. Sometimes you may be compromised in the tools that you have and not have a decent knife or a knife. And one of the things that can put you over the edge from a survival situation is magnesium. So I love fire steels, use them all the time. It's what I primarily carry, but from a survival perspective in my pack, always in my pocket, I have a magnesium block or rod with a metal match insert. And they come in all different shapes and sizes. Most common one are these block ones. There's different manufacturers, Coghlan's, Coleman's. Those are honestly crap if they say made in China. The magnesium is hard to scrape off. I've heard of, hadn't happened to me, but I've heard of the epoxy coming loose and losing the metal match insert. The best one out there that I've come across and others would agree with is what the military has used for quite a while, and that's the Dones, made in America. And the Dones work fantastic. If you do buy it in another form, make sure that you test it and make sure that it works well, because again, sometimes the magnesium is difficult to scrape, difficult to even light. I don't know what makes it subpar, but there's no doubt that it is. I've tried them. But Dones is the best block, and then again, check out the others. So what is so great about magnesium? It burns extremely hot, over 5,000 degrees Fahrenheit, and it will actually kick out a radiant flame. Very hot radiant flame, but brief, but it will put you over the edge in some cases, and things that you may not be able to light, such as old pine needles or even leaves that could even be a little bit damp. With enough magnesium, you may be able to get them lit with that radiant flame where you would not with a fire steel, whether it's a mish metal or ferrocerium or whatever the case may be. So magnesium definitely has its benefits. So I'll go ahead and light some of this so you can see how white hot it is, and then show you where it excels in particular. So they say on most of the instructions you want to make a quarter size area with your magnesium shavings. The bigger the shavings, the better. In block form, magnesium is perfectly safe and won't light, but in shaving form it lights well. You would want to have your whatever you're lighting, tinder, whether pine needles, whatever, right next to it, ready to go, because it goes very quick. Not the preferred method of using magnesium. I'll show you that in a second, but you have to be careful with these shavings. You don't want to knock them around. Also, one of the bad things about magnesium is you could be fighting the wind with it. If you have it in a windy situation, you can make a little compression or depression in the ground, maybe put some rocks around it, but getting it out of the wind is advantageous. So a lot of people will light a fire steel by pushing the scraper down. Almost lit that. Not preferred, because a lot of people will do it here, and if it doesn't light the first time, you could knock your shavings around. It's advantageous to pull the block and the mish metal rod back and let the spark drop into the magnesium. So we'll go ahead and light this, and you can see how white hot it is. And that's just a jamming radiant flame that you can get some tinder going. Now what I like using magnesium for excuse me, is scraping it and dumping it into a tinder bundle. And this may help you overcome some of that damp tinder, and this is actually a little damp. Tried to dry it out of my pocket for a little bit, but we've had some rain as of late. And get it in there. And then this is one of the other reasons I like magnesium. I actually carry this, and it's fantastic because it's so small. And one of the other advantages of magnesium, where some tinders may be difficult to light with a fire steel, you can improve your odds by using a better scraper. such as a hacksaw blade or the awl on a Swiss Army knife. You can, with magnesium, you don't need as much of a hot spark to get it going with your mish metal rod, so you can use a less of a scraper to get it going. But well, let's see if we can go ahead and get this lit. Little bit of the magnesium. There we go. So you can see that white hot glow, and now I got the tinder bundle going. So this is a fantastic piece of equipment. I like this little one because I don't have to worry about my ferro rod coming out of the magnesium. Key ring goes through the magnesium block, but the ferro rod would stay in this little leather pouch. And now I've got magnesium and a mish metal rod and something very small that I can always have in my pocket or throw around the lanyard on my neck knife or whatever the case may be. But magnesium rocks. 5,400 degrees Fahrenheit. It can be the difference in having fire and not. Hope that was worth it to you. Thanks.